Hello and welcome to this video brought to you by c4D Service and Support. I'm Peter Hundlinger, Clinical Application Specialist at c4D. In this video, I will show you how to edit a cPosition reference image in Advanced and Administrator mode of c4D. A clinical reason could be that a patient's anatomy has changed or that you just don't want to consider certain parts of the patient's body in your non-rigid real-time IC-center calculation. So this is how you edit a cPosition reference. Please log in to the c4D software as advanced user. Open the patient which you want to edit. Click on the plus next to the plan or site to find all reference images. Choose the cPosition reference which will be called external or body if it comes from a treatment planning system. Highlight it and switch in the main window to the tab Image. The imported surface appears. You can rotate the view just as you are used from any other c4D application with your left mouse. You can move the view with your right mouse and you can zoom with your mouse wheel. Click Edit in the right corner of the window to open the image editor. Rotate the view so that it fits to your needs. There are two options to edit a reference image. In the first, the minus symbol, you define the regions which you want to crop. In the second, the plus symbol, you define the regions you want to keep. So let's start with the first option. In each mode, you have two options for definition, a rectangular and a circular one. Choose the rectangular by clicking on the symbol, then click somewhere on the green surface. Now you see a red area which defines the area you want to crop. You can enlarge that area with your left mouse button while you press and hold the Shift key on your keyboard. Release the Shift key again to move the red area to parts you want to crop, for instance, this part of the leg. Once you click Crop, the surface gets deleted, meaning that this part of the patient's anatomy will not be taken into account by any calculation in the clinical mode of Catalyst, cPosition or cMotion. Similarly, as with the rectangular tool, you can also use the circular tool to define circles of cropped regions on your reference image. Click your left mouse button again together with holding the Shift key to enlarge this region. Once you release the Shift key, you can move it, for instance, to the genital part. A clinical reason here could be that your reference image differs from the reality because patients still wear underwear, or your patient's got a colostomy on the abdomen and hasn't had that yet in the planning CT. You can also define multiple regions for cropping instead of doing it separately by choosing the Regions tools again. Putting it in position on the surface, enlarge it and click Crop to delete these parts. They will not be considered in the IC-center or surface calculation anymore. Of course, you can also undo this step by clicking on the Undo button next to the Crop button. You can also easily delete these red regions by selecting them and press the Delete key on your keyboard. Okay. Let's now move to the second option, in which you can define which parts you want to keep instead of which you want to crop. So click on the plus button. The whole active surface turns then red, meaning once you would click Crop, all of the surface would be cropped. So therefore, first we need to define which regions we want to keep. You do that the same way as you did before by selecting the Regions tool. Put them on the surface, enlarge them with your Shift key and your mouse, or move them into position with only your left mouse button pressed. With this way, you can easily crop away bigger parts of the surfaces. Save the progress with the OK button. c4D will never override an existing surface, but create a copy which will be numbered in addition to its name each time you edit the surface. You can always go back to a previous cPosition reference image by selecting it and then choose Edit and Activate in the top menu. This action moves the reference on top of the list of references, which is always the current active cPosition reference image. The current reference image is also marked by a dark gray check mark next to its name, whereas the inactive ones are light gray. There is also another option in the clinical mode how you can crop a cPosition reference image, but this will be brought to you in a separate video.